Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Welcome to Northern Illinois University's Spring Commencement Ceremonies. At this time, I would like to introduce the president of NIU and his colleagues who will be joining him as members of today's platform party. Please hold your applause until all members are presented. Northern Illinois University President Douglas Baker. Executive Vice President and Provost Lisa Freeman. Chairman of the Board of Trustees Mark Strauss. Senior Associate Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer Bernice Edgil Walden. Vice President for Research and Innovation Partnerships Gerald Blasey. Management Chair from the College of Business Sarah Marsh. Vice President of Administration and Finance Alan Phillips. Associate Dean of the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, Omar Graev. Vice Provost, Ann Berberick. Dean of the College of Business, Denise Shainbachler. Dean of the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, Pramod Vora. Interim Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Paul Bauer. Our readers this afternoon are Josephine Umorin from the College of Health and Human Sciences and Keith Elliott from the College of Business. The student marshals are Luis Lopez Lazaro from the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, Joanna Nereus from the College of Visual and Performing Arts, and Samuel Cussworm from the College of Business. And joining members of the platform party are various members of NIU's esteemed faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the Northern Illinois University Class of 2016.
Will the audience please rise as you are able? We will now have the presentation of the national colors and the singing of the national anthem. Colors will be presented by the Northern Illinois University United States Army ROTC Color Guard with vocalist Deanna Francis.
You may be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Freeman, and I serve as Executive Vice President and Provost of Northern Illinois University. I am pleased to welcome you to the May 2016 commencement exercises of NIU. This is a day of great significance for the graduates and their families and friends. We're happy to have all of you here. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium Mark Strauss, Chairman of the Board of Trustees.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my honor to welcome all of you to this event and offer congratulations to the graduates. I know you'll all celebrate. Then I hope each graduate will do 4 things. First, avoid complacency. Each graduate today made sacrifices to complete the requirements for a degree. Now, you have the chance to accomplish what you can envision. keep working hard for your dreams. Second, help us all find reason and not fear in the unknown. You have each learned how to think critically, conduct research, and express your ideas. Use these skills to meet the challenge of answering questions we have not yet thought to ask. Third, be engaged. Inspire others to dream, learn, and do more. That's what leadership is about. Finally, recognize the legitimate interests of others. Don't compromise your core values, but be sensitive. Our common success builds from shared beliefs. If you do these 4 things, you'll have a fulfilling life. I'm excited for you and the future. Again, best wishes and congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Strauss, for those inspiring words. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to invite to the podium the President of Northern Illinois University, Dr. Douglas D. Baker.
Thank you. Hello, Huskies. Hey, did you enjoy the best steel band in the country right here? NIU's Steel Band. Thank you, band. Well, it's a good afternoon. It's actually a great afternoon for the parents and relatives of our graduates who've dreamed of this day for so long, for our graduates who've worked so hard to get here, and for me, because one of the great privileges of being a university president is having the opportunity to address a group like the one assembled here today. People on the cusp of doing great things. People who become the leaders of tomorrow. People who will help their families, communities, and organizations thrive as they work to make the world a better place. That's a tall order, but this group's up to it. I find myself continually in awe of our students. They're smart, hardworking, talented, and they're committed to service, to academic success, to the communities, and to each other. Working under the tutelage of our talented and dedicated faculty, these students have transformed themselves. We don't have time to share each of their stories, but I'd like to highlight a few examples. I'd like these students to please stand when I announce your name, okay? First, Randus Hopkins. Randus? Jazz is all about improvising, and Randus Hopkins certainly has done that during his time at NIU. He graduates today with a degree in jazz performance, but during his time on campus, he's riffed off an idea and has started to change the world. During his college career, Randus launched the Remember Project, a nonprofit organization that directs more than 200 college students back to Chicago to be positive role models for inner city youth through volunteering. That's okay, you can clap for that. It's a big deal. Randus never lost focus on the West Side neighborhood where he grew up, and he feels it's an important obligation to give back to the next generation of young people looking to their future, as he did during his days as a student at Curie High School. He used skills he learned while earning a minor in community leadership and civic engagement to help him do so. His goal was to open doors for others, but it also opened some doors for him. In 2015, he was named a Newman Civic Fellow and spoke before 16,000 youth volunteers in a packed arena for We Day, Illinois. That's not a bad deal, is it? 16,000? He participated in NIU Cares Day, the Brothers Organization, and is a recipient of the university's Peace Award. He also spent time as an intern in Washington, D.C., focusing on social justice issues and planning regional training events for the Young People For organization. The experience included a lunch visit to the White House, arranged by an NIU alum, and an hour-long opportunity to shadow an administration official. True to his reflective and humble style, Randus recognizes he didn't get there alone. He credits his family, teachers, musical mentors, and fellow students for helping him find and seize on what he calls the wonderful opportunities in his life. Just as his college years benefited from an open-minded approach, Randus readies himself for the future with a similar thought. He plans to grow the Remember Project in his continued efforts to pay it forward and give others a chance to fulfill their potential. He says he'd love to work for Google and develop ways to solve local problems by using technology. And Randus sees performing and recording as the next steps in following for his music passion. Looking back and gazing into the future, help Randus understand the benefits of youthful optimism and being bold with whatever comes his way. He says, "You never know what life's going to hold for you." Well, I do know that Sunday, Randus flies to Mexico for the second time to do volunteer work. Randus typically sets the spotlight on others. Recently, he produced a performance in another year-end celebration, and I'm going to ask the other students to do something I don't usually do. Fellow students, those who've been in the Remember Project or been affiliated with Randus in any of his activities and groups on campus, will you stand up and show the impact he's had? Other students from Remember Project and others. Congratulations to Randus and all of you. Next, Franz Varga.
Hi, friends.
Most college students would be proud to say they already have a job lined up after graduation. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a person who would turn down the chance to be called the best in the world at something. Well, Franz Varga can happily proclaim both as his 4 years at NIU wind down. A double major in finance and economics, Franz is headed to work at Epic Industries in Verona, Wisconsin, to begin the next chapter of his journey, which included finishing tied for first in the world in the Bloomberg Aptitude Test in Finance and Economics in 2015. Franz modestly downplays the accomplishment, as well as many of the notable items that fill his resume, to instead focus on the ways college life became fulfilling to him on a personal level. He worked with first and second year students as a peer instructor to help them in the transition to college life. Franz filled in various financial leadership roles with groups such as Motorboard Senior Honorary Society, the Quiz Bowl Association, and the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Advisory Council. He spent 3 years as the box office manager for the NIU School of Theater and Dance. He also was part of a student team that successfully managed a portion of the NIU Foundation investment portfolio. Wow. Those are just a few of the ways he's connected himself to NIU over the years. And Franz doesn't hesitate to say he takes great pride in the wide array of things he's done to stay active and involved in the campus life and university community. His efforts earned him recognition in various forms, including the NIU Senior Leadership Award in 2016, the Most Outstanding Student Award in 2014, and various other honors. Franz's higher education experience might not be fully behind him. Even with a job awaiting him, he's thinking about a master's degree in the future, and someday, a return to academia in a role where he can give to students the way he's received as a Husky. While it's tough to be the top in the world, I'm sure even more exciting accomplishments await Franz in his future. Congratulations, Franz. Next, Luis Lopez. College, let alone graduation day, nearly didn't happen for Luis Lopez. The engineering student immigrated to the United States at the age of 11, leaving behind the small town of Morel, Mexico, where he spent his early years. Coming to a new country presented many challenges for Luis, but he persevered and proudly graduated from Cary Grove High School. Yet, the dream of attending college dimmed as he feared he wouldn't be able to afford it without financial aid. Through scholarships offered by the NIU Scholar Program and College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, Luis was given the opportunity to pursue higher education. And did he ever make the most of that opportunity? He said the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology played a huge role in his success. Through the college, he earned the Navistar Fund Scholarship, which led to his first internship the summer after his freshman year. He returned to Navistar for a second summer, and last year was selected for an internship with Texas Instruments, the same company he'll be joining after graduation to work in its embedded processor unit. Through NIU and the internships he obtained, Luis realizes he picked up a wealth of real-world experience. At the same time, Luis never forgot about the importance of helping others, especially those who found themselves in a situation similar to his own. He served as a Husky Service Scholar, a Northern Lights Ambassador, a University Honors Fellow, Chair of the Professional Development for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and served as President of the Honors Student Society and Lambda Upsilon Lambda. Wow. Luis credits these organizations and programs as being key to the development of his leadership skills by giving him the chance to help and mentor his peers. Similarly, he praises the mentors, professors, and friends who helped him create a memorable NIU experience and pushed him to achieve at his highest level. Even as Luis heads off to Silicon Valley to spark innovation in businesses of all sizes and all types of industries, it's easy to tell he'll never outgrow the roots which are his family. As Luis put it so eloquently, I'm extremely grateful to my family, especially my parents, who made countless sacrifices so that I could have a shot at the American dream. And I know many of his family members have flown in from Mexico and are here from the Chicago area, and we want to welcome all of them. Luis, you're an example and an inspiration to all of us, and we wish you well in the future. Congratulations. As you can see from the stories I've shared, we have amazing students at NIU. Students who've taken remarkable, life-altering journeys during their time on campus. Clearly, they didn't walk alone down their chosen paths. They had encouragement, help and guidance from a constellation of people, many of whom are here today. And we would be remiss if we didn't give our graduates an opportunity to show their gratitude. Let's start with family. Graduates, although you wrote the papers and pulled the all-nighters, your family did some of the heavy lifting too. From your first day of school until today, they've been by your side, encouraging you and supporting you in ways you probably can't even imagine. Last weekend, we celebrated Mother's Day. Moms, this weekend, you get the gift of seeing your daughter or son graduate. Will all the moms here please stand and let us thank you? Moms, will you stand? And because it often takes a village to raise a college graduate, let's have all the dads and grandparents and spouses and daughters and sons be recognized as well. Wow. And while we're thanking people who've helped you along the way, I'd also like to thank the faculty. These talented teachers and extraordinary researchers have helped you shape your future. So I ask the faculty to rise as we recognize them for their efforts on your behalf. Faculty. And finally, because it takes more than great academics to provide an excellent college experience, I'd also like to ask the university staff with us to stand and be recognized. They too have had a big hand in helping these graduates reach their pinnacle. Clearly, graduates, you enjoy an extraordinary support system, and I want you to remember them, not just after today's ceremony when you give your loved ones a big hug, but also as you move forward in life. Remember them when others reach out to you for help and extend the same support to those who need a hand. As Winston Churchill once said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. So I urge you, give generously of the gifts that you have. My congratulations to all of you and best wishes for a prosperous and fulfilling future. Go Huskies!
Thank you, President Baker. I would now like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Jerome Morrison from the NIU Department of Military Science.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of 7 of the NIU Spring 2016 graduates, 3 of which are graduating in this ceremony today. These students will receive their commissions as officers in the United States Army and leave here to represent Northern Illinois University and its contribution to our nation's military leadership. They are also joining the ranks of a distinguished group of 586 commissionees over the past 46 years who have served the country with honor and some of whom continue to serve today. Please hold all applause until the end as they take their oath of office. Cadet Joseph Hines commissions into the Engineer Branch and will report to Fort Knox, Kentucky. Cadet Michael Wolf commissions into the Quartermaster Corps and will report to Fort Drum, New York. Cadet Francisco Valencia commissions into the Infantry Branch and will report to Fort Benning, Georgia. Gentlemen, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States at the grade of Second Lieutenant, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in honoring the recognition of these fine young men as they enter in as the brand new and youngest officers in the United States Army.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Morrison, and congratulations to the newly commissioned officers. We now ask that you join in acknowledging the accomplishments of each of our graduates. I also request that you remain for the entire commencement ceremony to honor each of these. Thank you for your consideration. I would like to note that many of our undergraduate students have been recognized for awards and honors, but time does not allow us to announce each of these individually. Among the academic and other honors that are identified by pins, ribbons, and insignias, I note that graduates with university honors are identified by gold cords and sashes, and members of mortarboard are wearing gold ribbons secured by their mortarboard pin. At this time, the undergraduate degrees will be conferred by the president of the university. Will all of the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? Students, please remain standing. President Baker, on behalf of the faculty of Northern Illinois University, I recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred.
Thank you. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees as president, I hereby formally confer upon each of you, together with your fellows in absentia, who've been certified by the faculty as having successfully completed the prescribed requirements, the baccalaureate degree for which you are eligible. Accordingly, you are invested with all the privileges and responsibilities appropriate to that degree, and at this moment become alumni of Northern Illinois University. Now, it is customary that you move your tassel from the right to the left to signify that you've earned your baccalaureate degree. Congratulations. You may be seated. Dean Vora?
Will the graduates from the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology please rise and proceed to the platform as directed by your marshals?
Luis Eduardo Lopez Lazaro. Hamza Utman.
Joseph Hines.
Ahmed Hariri.
Francisco Valencia.
Nicholas Lavara.
Michael Wolf.
Joshua Srennak.
Ryan Sorsby.
Min Lun Su Wu.
Christina Arias.
Jamar Roca.
Alexander Freeland.
Scott Gardner.
Nathan Glatz.
Jonathan Inthanwang.
Adam Zabrist.
Zach Azor.
Kevin Dosef.
Diego Ortega.
Mark Serbin.
Michael Lind.
Gregory Zaranin.
Megan Eckwall.
Joseph Perrone.
Christopher Watts.
Stephen Mowers.
Jonathan Kettleson.
Kelly Ezell.
Joshua Spears.
Zachary Cacciatore.
Muhammad Alcasatori.
Rachel Murphy.
Sergio Guzman.
Roy Wazelis.
Saeed Aguera.
Magellan Marchand.
James Ingold.
Brian Ross.
Gary Layton.
Matthew Thomas.
Michael Farron.
Ryan Ragsdale.
Michael Cunningham.
Jared Murphy.
Piotr Musial.
Gertag Dillon.
Adam Dietrich.
Annie Can.
Moses Baba.
George DePia.
Daniel Glenn.
Wohan Carlos Lopez.
Dylan Beach.
Nicholas Schofield.
Keith Eller.
Gabriel Madu.
Eric Fulton.
William Kidd.
Stephen Palmater.
Kaylin Kidd.
Jennifer Marks.
Christina Alvarez Moreno.
Christina Clark.
Sally Aljaji.
Frank Leon.
Donovan Gordon Arthur Lee.
Joshua Babka.
David Duncan.
Conrad Przanowski.
Blake Lundstrom.
Corey Burns.
Haley Emboden.
Povit Patel,
Papicho Odai,
Dylan Heinrich,
Stephen Kist,
Katrina Pascal,
Usman Beg,
Sakil Kashan Alexander,
Laura Thompson,
Charles Marshall,
Emily Clampett,
Gregory Jenkins,
Kayla Nebo,
Shiakana Welsh,
Ryan Manzer,
Crystal Wilson,
Mospa Abelel Kwardir,
Oluwatimi Lai Yin Adabawi,
Mohammed Maradwi,
Alawa Dunsin,
Mustafa Hassan,
Carolyn Murray,
Paul Uden,
Ryan Burley,
John George,
Paul Cummings,
Taylor Norton,
Trevor Lehman,
Mark Wichter,
Michael Pascola,
Christopher Thomas,
Lee Klein,
Greg Sassy,
John Godlewski,
Greg Zoltan,
Adam Wasum,
Greg Tabazowski,
Matthew Platka,
Miles Hendricks,
Derek Mokerski,
Daniel Flynn,
Gregory Tudor,
Austin Heckenkemper,
Nicholas Atkinson,
Henmei Serrano,
Scott Preston,
Nicholas Canopa,
Sean Porter,
Eric Hines,
Evan Gunn,
Carl Stumpf,
Alejandro Lopez,
Robert Cruz,
Jackson Shanks,
Malachi Larson, Brendan Milmont, Nathan Stuley, Sydney King, Benjamin Ferris, John McGee, Christopher Janus, Alexander Oberman, William Kokonis Jr., Kyle Jackson, Andy Garcia, Joseph Schwarzhoff, Tyler Miner, Mamadou Jola, Jordan Puglisi, Eric Doluson, Scott Zbrowski, Anthony DiCarlo, Bernard Mishak, Taylor Dupre, Francis Wasonga, Jonathan Walker, Esega Etoko, Eduardo Mihu, Ryan O'Connor. Okay. We will. Oh, yeah. Veronica Feingan, Aranatza de la Torre, Adam Springer, Alex Nunley, Michael Soda. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the graduates of the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology.
Will the graduates of the College of Visual and Performing Arts please rise and approach the stage as directed by the faculty marshals.
Joanna Nereus,
Elisa Amher,
Daniel Tenbrook,
Rebecca Boots,
Nathan Smith,
Taylor Brash,
David Porter,
Douglas Burrows,
Ryan Wilson,
Kwo Hong Lee,
Kelsey Mellon,
Kelly Byrne,
Vin No,
Daniel Corners,
Kelsey Devin Mayton,
Aaron DeGiovanni,
David Joseph Cosrow,
Elena Carvel,
Timothy Riley,
Gabrielle Domina,
Allison Miller,
Allison Edis,
Courtney Pratt,
Killen Charles Donor,
Cassandra Johnson,
Cecilia Feliciano,
Amy Fleming,
Tani Lynn Felapello,
Cindy Spice,
Sabrina Garcia,
Shastine Peterson,
Ashley Gregor,
Catherine Holney,
Bianca Gruns,
Sarah Knapp,
Anya Helm,
Patrick Price,
Christy Henrici,
Lauren Roback,
Michael Hoey,
Nicole Tolentino,
Susan Leitz,
Hanbel Yang,
John Stephen Lindquist,
Trent Snyder,
Amy Chow,
Mo Lincoln III,
Juan Molina Hernandez,
Wallach Orchard,
Joshua Lotson,
Amber Salas,
Carl Camara,
Sean Thomas,
Alan Herrera,
Brooke Schinberg,
Warren Lamb,
Shannon Riley,
Lane Fiedler,
Allison McCandless,
Tanae Burton,
Justin Williams,
Brittany Nichols,
Tierra Jones,
Megan Dice,
Peggy Nastovic Ingalls,
Kenneth Leftridge,
Tyler Sims,
Randus Wander Hopkins,
Emily Rux,
Philip Keppel,
Stacy Marzal,
Alexis Lamb,
Cameron Nissen,
Corey Ellis,
Christina Volkovich,
Matthew Ferris,
Jacob Zipko,
T.C. Fair,
McKenna Sarabi,
Kaylin Hawkins,
Gretchen Schultz,
Natalie Dush,
Jacqueline Summers,
Nico Fernandez,
Iris Dickman,
William Evanson,
Benjamin Pomeroy,
Alexi Bridget Langlios,
Mason Wheaton,
Ashley Rose Greenberg,
Rocco Zaccanini,
Robert Reese Holloman,
Milo Pogasanici,
Lydia Carpenter,
Ryan Kraus,
Jordan King, Colin Lindgren, Trevor Hari, Addison Kitchen, Michael Glasgow. Alexandria Bunce. Alexandra Eisbrenner. Olivia Guerrera. Randhir Bad. Kylie Kapp. Kelsey Kunley. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the graduates of the College of Visual and Performing Arts.
Will the graduates from the College of Business please rise and approach the stage as directed by your marshal?
Samuel Edward Cussworm.
Andres Jimenez. Simon Jules Formont.
Linnea Shearer.
Javier Bustamante.
Jennifer Ann Wolf.
Corey Joseph Delmas Pepe.
Amanda Maxine Doderer.
Dean Charles Kozakowski.
Carla May Kajane.
Langston Vaughn Barnes.
Reginald Canis Bagayan.
Robin Beth Aldi.
Nung Thi Nguyen.
Melissa Marie Embry.
Jerry L. Tan.
Benjamin Brett Boyark.
Huyan Singh.
Nicholas James Perez.
Bradley James Leighton Ebert.
Stephen Yaw Sarfel Kwartang.
Jacob Williams Weiss.
Mark Raymond Calvi.
Charles Zhao.
Cody Lee McMurray.
Sean Patrick Mahaney.
Alexander Nicholas Stepson.
Daniel William Stevenson.
Pedro Quijaro.
Dominica Stefania Danielle.
Jeffrey Scott Fitzgerald.
Jonathan Paul Wagner.
Robert James Agnew.
Nathan Michael Polgar.
Jacob William Clark.
Cody Scott Emberson.
Matthew Albert O'Malley.
David Peter Ribirdi.
France Luke Varga.
Ariel Eileen Visser.
Connor Joseph Mailer.
Anu Shah.
Matthew Edward Reese.
Andrew John Bruns.
Abhi Jinxes Patel.
Skylar Mitchell Reese.
Thomas Michael Flato.
Michelle Lee Bottomley.
William Richard Stadelman.
Jasmine Marie Brown.
Michael James Staddy.
Nicholas Edward Gaston.
Jeremy Michael Suklis.
Anthony Jordan Hands.
Roger Alexander Lane.
Joseph Daniel Dominic.
Jesus Moranos.
Ashley Marie Martinez.
Zachary Ian Sip.
Elizabeth Guybe.
Kyle Richard Van Wombeck.
Sarah Elizabeth Kumek,
Ian Michael Andrews,
Elizabeth Ramirez,
Michael David Lang,
Rachel Ann Zahar,
Garrett Christopher Eichen,
Carlos Javier Martinez,
Patrick Burke,
Jake Allen Singletary,
Daniel Michael Fairhurst,
Logan Michael DeGroot,
Anthony Kutipara Thomas,
Garrett Michael Cook,
Weizhen Hong,
Robert James Swaby,
Alexander Anthony Verklin,
Eleftheria Baziogos,
Joseph Donald Riza,
Noel Valdivia,
Paul Michael Tate,
Antonio Morada,
Kevin James Karras,
Nicolette Sue Ricosa,
Brock Daniel Fulmer,
Nicholas William Roy,
Rachel Lauren McDonald,
Michael Robert Wilder,
Justin Christopher Magnin,
Anthony Remo Monfelli,
Christopher Ryan Burnson,
Dylan James Madonna,
Thomas Jacob Fahey,
Robert Joe Greenback,
Dylan Talbot Reynolds,
Stephen Francis Robbins,
Gaetano Tangora,
Dan Allen Patterson,
Jordan Alicia Hoffland,
Gavin Edward Tabb,
Stephanie Erica Mitchell,
Francis Charles Lehner,
Callie Ann Metzler,
Joshua Ryan Alden,
Garrett Franklin Braley,
Angela Mary Draper,
Kieria Dominique Bailey,
John Jacob Daljadas,
Catherine Jarrick,
Thomas Edward Casala,
Abigail Arrigan,
Wesley David Harrison,
Quentin Garrett Johnson,
Jeffrey Robert Mueller,
Benjamin Todd Glendening,
Ryan Paul Saris,
Brandon Hawk Lay,
Isabel Vasquez,
David Richard Mutz,
Lorena Chavez,
Denny Ma,
Terrace Lisk,
Johnny Phila Vong,
Jeffrey Allen Comholes,
Alan Kuang Min Tang,
Alexander Theodore Weir,
Hasbar Ali Shaikh,
Chloe Pooler,
James Joseph Kerpel,
Emily Stevens,
Gina Marie Danino,
Stephanie Marie Apatar,
Connie Sue Ellett,
Cynthia Velasco,
Griselda Denep Gura,
John Nazorick,
Drew Alexander Engel,
Anthony Patrick Niesel,
Stefania Christine Galazuis,
William Arthur Leitz,
Kiera Marie Ryan,
Paul Constantinos Sitaris,
Catherine Jean Wirthlin,
Bianca Noel Sambale,
Ashley Marie Albo,
Thomas Dwayne Brown,
Nicole Gobo,
Selena Ivy Shelton,
Alexandria Nicole McBride,
Suri Sade Jimenez,
Frederick Cadu,
Noemi Marquez,
Brianna Zachary Barker,
Bridget Marquette Nee,
L'Oreal Christian Taylor,
Eva Inia,
Joy Patrice Adams,
Carol Wee,
Lydia Joe,
Saul Para Rodriguez,
Mark Allen Newster,
Muhammad Sarfan Uriman.
Joshua James Akers.
Shangni To.
Monib Mohanab Alawa.
Maria Larisa Ong.
Matthew John Dealand.
Omar Ascada Flores.
Mitchell Peter Bergschlein.
Roel Alcantar Luna.
Levon Marion Myers.
Jensen Joseph.
Scott Daniel Bolton.
Joseph Michael Kuskis.
Benjamin James Field.
Ankur Patel.
Matthew Aguinaldo Ferrar.
Kimberly Jean Johnson.
Betsy Matthew.
Josiah Badakolkas.
Kara Eileen Weigel.
Kelly Oshotsky.
Sheila Dolores Arcuri.
Alexis Compagna.
Christine Marie Villarugo.
Robert Demers.
Chase Christopher Connor.
Thomas Edward Paulson.
Bradley William Kanyu.
Prahesh Shartia.
Sydney Morgan Santoro.
Andrew Stephen Watts.
Carly Ray Christensen.
Mohammed Adan Khan.
Benedict James Scaduto.
Kapil K. Muradia.
Johnny Wynn.
Jordan Tyler Motley.
Eric Daniel Eishen.
Kyle Aaron Grant.
Nicholas James Lumley.
Catherine Therese Ulrich.
Blake Allen Benzo.
Sarah Jean Stickney.
Ryan Michael Cassidy.
Kellen A. LaWheeler.
Adam Estevovido.
Jeffrey James Estlin.
Vitaly Christopher Rick Luke.
Robert B. King.
Brett William Hessenauer.
Anutham Jawadi.
Samantha Ann Lupa.
Paul Charles Vanderhayden.
Brian Matthew Tierno.
Jeremy Quinones.
Justin Richard Halikias.
Muhammad Daniel Khan.
John Pierre Edouard Ville.
Joshua Jerry Fife.
Celine Elizabeth Alvarado.
Scott David Scully.
Caleb Jared Koenig.
Joseph Stephen Menino.
Ismael Sanchez.
Austin Ronald Young.
Nehemiah Kippo.
Lauren A. Costello.
Abdulmajid Khalad Alimayuf.
Austin Jeffrey Brooks.
Jeremy Donald Pate.
Nicholas Ryan Cepeda.
Tremisha Nikaya Owens.
Carly Allison Stephan.
Khalifa Tricia Davis.
Shane Robert Bardell.
Brian Ali Robinson.
Daniel Trenton Thompson.
Malcolm Xavier Neely.
Ruiz Carlo Aceran.
Jeremy Whitney Reese Daddy.
Christina Marie Dorner.
Marisol Ortiz.
Aaron Robert Bachman Jr.
Joel Thomas Newlin.
Colleen Marie Kesson.
Dominic Grizz.
Christopher Polito.
Timothy Richard Reed.
Gilberto Garcia.
Michael Jeffrey Fish.
Salvatore Albert Sula.
Jeremy Richard Abernathy.
Jennifer Ann Murphy.
Sunbung Yu.
James Patrick Lang.
Zachary Scott Edwards.
Drew Edward Zeichert,
Tyler Robert Barkis,
Christopher Hamilton,
Nicholas Edward Leon,
Logan Robert Johnson,
Michaela Maya England,
Jeffrey Andrew Ludwig,
Derek Adam Clark Slaw,
Marty Edward Barrett,
Julia Maddie Selvey,
Darren Brown,
Christina Michelle Burks,
Konstantin Plamenov Parasegva,
Daisy Monarez,
Vaibhav Udahai,
Shauna Calistro,
maybe your Zitsa Machus Cuesta,
Brittany Kayla Kamdeka,
Harsh Patel, Abhishek Shah,
Tyler Paul Finney,
Parth Kanchwan Gudarzi,
Ashley Marie Orr,
Abde Bokola Adiofe,
Matthew Lil Shaban,
Alfred Bernard Page,
Chad Davis Onus,
Jody K. Dillon,
Aaron Michael Shervin,
Robert Justino,
David Thomas Sell,
Daniel Joseph Popkus,
Amy Catherine Shaw,
Charles Edward Healy,
Roselle Ann Leanne Doshi,
Yushing Si,
Kristen Marie Truesdale,
Chi Shang,
Alex Henry Ernerstal,
Gavin Edward Tudor,
Jordan Lee Spear,
Jermaine Allen Hall,
David Jordan Kagi,
Anthony Paul Ritzich,
Anja Patel,
Ethan Richard Airborg,
Kelsey Marie Dunham,
Cody James Varga,
Marilyn Alexis Kuntz,
Angelica Wasnowska,
Jessica Angela Zija,
Allison McKenzie Ziegler,
Sushi Mehta Das,
Molly Jo Healy,
Alisa S. Bishop,
Venera Maloza Popova,
Megan Marie Ebert,
Elizabeth Catherine Brunner,
Gina Renee Gardner,
Robert Patrick Heitkamp,
Stephen Wayne Saylor,
Joel Allen Eckberg,
Jennifer Jane Mushinsky,
George Antonio Escudo,
Faith Young,
Brandon Garcia,
Alexandra Faith Marshall Smith,
Juan Manuel Jaquez,
Sarah Grace Peters,
Jason Lisseth,
Douglas James Busall,
Mitchell Ryan Lowe,
Joshua Thomas Manman,
Leopoldo Roca,
Braulio Diaz,
Kate Elaine Shower,
Joshua David Marino,
Nicole Marie Talbert,
Donna Thomas Oliger,
Nora Janine Crabb,
George U. Anewell,
Wendy Calderon,
Elizabeth Brittany Wilkes,
Kanisha Payson,
Kelly Lynn Moffett,
Lakeisha M. Wright,
Andon Horatius,
Shane Spencer Soul,
Christina Marie Qualtier,
Nicholas Anthony Corsica,
Maria George,
Juan Jose Salazar,
Joshua Matthew Newell,
Martin Diaz,
Francis Carolyn Anilo Deek,
Michael Pasquale Cariosa.
Anthony Steven Stanislawski.
Michael Gass.
Seth Buckwater.
Eugene Christopher Travis.
Asante Ray McKinley.
Latrice Levon Tillis.
Zachary Jordan Willard.
Javante Patrick Marshall.
Luke Tyler Neening. Colin Robert Petrie. Michael Charles Howell. Richard Andrew Hare. Timothy John DeVizio. Timothy James Powers. Dominique Lewis Muhammad Bell. Tyler Pierre Hairston. Adebayo Adayo Odedina.
Just say the B, just say Troy B. Lawrence Jr., just the B.
Okay. Troy B. Lawrence Jr. Caleb Charles Noble. Robert Allen Shalota. Matthew Ryan Stevens.
These are the graduates of the College of Business.
Wow, shouldn't we give them one big round of applause? Congratulations to all of you. You know, when I last stood at this podium, all of you were still technically students, and now you've joined that illustrious group of individuals known as the NIU alumni. Congratulations on your achievements at NIU. We look forward to seeing how you change the world for the better. Now, please turn to the last page of your program and join Deanna Francis as we sing the alma mater. Following the alma mater, guests are asked to remain in their seats for the recessional of the platform party. Faculty and graduates, will the audience please rise as you are able?